Hi there, welcome to
Hi.
Bottled Up Wisdom again. I'm Lou, this is John. If you've been listening to this, which is quite lightly in chronological order, we've just done a couple on anger. Now, obviously, that anger can settle and become quite toxic in our hearts. And so, what we're saying is retribution and resentment locks. Retaliation.
Yes. Can't read my writing, can you?
No, I can't.
It's
It's a better word, retaliation.
Yes.
Retaliation and resentment locks a person into the cycle of a problem. Forgiveness offers them the opportunity to break out from it.
Yeah, there's one. Forgiveness. Wow. It's always a pleasant little topic, this one, isn't it? Yeah. Heart.
Yeah.
Heart.
Talk about resentment, because that's from a French word, isn't it?
Yeah. It was actually from the Latin, but we tend to take it from the French. The French ressentir, which is to refeel. You know.
Refill.
And that's what resentment is. It's about refilling all the time. It's about something going on and on and on in your head. You know, somebody does something, but you kind of replay it. You replay it on a regular basis. It's like having a video loop going on in your head. You know, and every time it happens, it's like new. You know, and you feel the emotions. You know, you feel the emotions, whether it be anger, whether it be hurt, whether it be feelings of betrayal, whatever it is. It just keeps going on in your head, you know, and it's very difficult to get rid of.
And unfortunately, when that begins to happen, you've got that script going on inside, no matter what your drinker is doing, and they might be having a good day, but this is now, you're kind of living out of, if you like, my alcoholic partner, mother, or whatever. And that becomes a scenario that's going on, no matter what's happening in the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, AA talk about living a day at a time. You know, what they don't actually say is which day sometimes. You know, but they mean today. You know, but very often you could be living in last week, last year, last second century. So it's what it does. I've heard it described as, you know, like having all these people coming in and having a party in your head. They're all gate crashers, you know.
And I work a lot with that, I have to say, as a counsellor, because I think that our life is like a lounge, and if we're not careful, we open the door to all sorts of different things, and they come and, like, they sit on our sofa and tell us how crap life is, how crap we are, and getting to know that internal dialogue and shutting it down is really, really important.
Part of the problem with that, I mean, we read out at the beginning retaliation and resentment. You know, it kind of it's almost the other way around. It's, you know, the resentment makes you want to retaliate. Makes you want. I'm hurting. I'm going to hurt you. And as you say, you know, your drinker can be sitting there sort of sober, you know, but still, you know, because the loop's still going.
There's two ways that actually I used to do retaliation, either overtly, and that to be mean and kind of maybe spiteful. The other was covertly, in as much as I would withhold myself. I'd become cold and withdrawn. The trouble was that neither of those were good positions for me, because basically me and my partner, we loved each other. Therefore, to be mean to my partner didn't feel right inside of me, and actually to withhold the love so that relationship didn't flow was horrible easily. So it was kind of a lose-lose situation, really, all round. Which is where forgiveness then comes in at that point.
Oh yes, forgiveness. Remember that.
Yeah.
You said that at the beginning. Yes, forgiveness. Forgiveness is not an easy thing to do.
No.
You know, and people sometimes mistake forgiveness for condoning. You know, saying it's okay what you did. It's not. It's not okay what you did. You know, that's not forgiveness. You know. That's making allowances, that's condoning, that's entering into sort of, you know, almost a compact with the drinker, you know, and that's not what it's about, you know.
Yeah, some of the things, I mean, what used to feel unforgivable for me was that sometimes my partner would look after the children and not be real. That he was just about to go off on a bender, and then they would come back.
Yeah.
I mean, I just stopped letting them have them in the end, but he'd come back weaving up the road.
Yeah.
You know, with my small child.
Mm-hmm.
And so that anger was very, very intense inside of me at that time. And so it feels unforgivable. So, and actually you don't have to pretend that the action is a forgivable action. What you're doing is actually you're extending grace to the person, not the circumstance.
Yeah.
Because it's only as you extend grace to the person that the circumstance might change. But I think forgiveness, when he first arrives, let's call him some sort of emotional saviour. He arrives in a garb that he's not welcome, you know, and
No.
so the forgiveness comes in. What are you doing here? Don't want you here at the moment. You're no help whatsoever.
Yeah.
But he really is, if we call him, forgiveness is helpful because it's the way in which you let go of that pain and you give it back again.
Forgiveness is really for yourself. You know, it's not about forgiving yourself, but it's allowing. It's like switching the tape off. You know, the tape's going round and round and round. Forgiveness is about trying to switch that tape off. You know, and that's really what you are trying to do. If you extend grace to the drinker or whoever it is that's hurt you, then you're switching that tape off. You don't need to forget what was done to you. You don't need to forget that hurt. You don't need to forget the pain, you know, but you just forgive it. You forgive it and say, okay.
There were some people who will say that you've only forgiven if you've forgotten. I think that's very unrealistic in this particular journey. Now, my drink has been dead a long time now, about 12 years. And I'm still in my heart on that journey of sometimes something happens and I remember that anger of forgiving and letting go.
Yeah.
And maybe the pain is beginning to become less, and the memories therefore are less. But I think it does take a long time.
I think that's a wee bit too much of the purist.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
An idealist. I mean, if somebody has committed a murder, you know, had murdered your child, you know, and you forgive them, do you forget it? I don't think you could, except with a memory wipe, you know. But you can still forgive, you know. There is a big difference. Also, the other thing is that, you know, if somebody has done something and are a serial, whatever, you know, serial hurter, you might forgive them, but would you put yourself back in a position where you would get hurt again? I think, you know, and that's the only way you can forgive. No, I really don't think so. You know, I'll put myself into the victim mode yet. No, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so because we know how hard this is, we are going to do another video now. And just we talked about it kind of a bit as therapists, because any therapy that you do, people have come to this same conclusion, that forgiveness is extremely important in recovery from trauma. And so this is me and you saying it, this is generally accepted in therapeutic circles. But we're going to do another video and we're going to talk about Lou and John in this situation, and do come with us because we fully understand this is terribly hard as a journey for you in this particular arena.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening, and please come and listen again in a minute.
Listen to this one underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.